What's up, guys? Chris here with some Flo-Osophy, and I got Izzy, who's actually a member of our main group, Men Mentoring Men, as well. And he told me something profound today that I want to share with you guys, and he's going to share with you. And he talked about rite of passage for men and how people are stuck in boyhood because they never go through the rite of passage. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, man, it's just a book I read on the rite of passage and how a lot of Native American tribes or all over the world, tribes all over the world will always have a rite of passage where a boy at one point, whether it's age 13, 12, 14, whatever, but at that point they have to complete a task or something that moves their life from childhood to manhood. Right. And with that, it's more of a mentality shift. So the boy all of a sudden is now understanding I have certain responsibilities as a man, whether that's to learn how to progress myself mentally, physically, emotionally. But right now I left my childhood behind and I take the rite of passage and I move forward into manhood. Right. And a lot of us, and we were just talking about this before, you and I both still have some childhood tendencies as well. We all
Definitely do. Definitely do.
We all do. So it's not about like I'm calling you a boy, but we have to understand that there is a part of us, whether it's a small part of us or a large part of us, that is still stuck in that childhood, boyhood mentality, and we're not willing to move forward and have that thought. All right, you know what? Let me stop playing the games. Let me start getting my life right. Whether that's to marry another woman, another man, to have kids, to not have kids, to buy a house, whatever it is you want to do, you got to have that mentality where you're like, all right, you know what? I got to leave this stuff behind and now move forward. And now you look at society nowadays, we don't really have a rite of passage. I mean, in the Jewish culture, you have the bar mitzvah and the bar mitzvah. Yeah. And that's good, but other than that, though, there really is no, even people graduating high school nowadays.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There's nothing that's saying, all right, and also not even for the child, but for the parents and the people around them.
Yeah, so they keep treating them like a child because they never went through. Damn.
Exactly. So,
wow. All right. All right.
Yeah. So it's like your parents are now aware that, listen, all right, now I gotta start
treating him like
a man or like a woman. It's for back in the day it was more for men, but now it could be for
everybody. Yeah.
And it's a matter of the parents saying, all right, now they see the child as an adult. And
shit, it's gone.
Yes.
Wow.
And then you start having expectations for the child. I mean, for the adult now that you weren't putting on them before, and now those expectations, the child now adult will have to strive for and fulfill.
Man. And that's funny because like with the whole like Flo-Osophy program, one of the things I've tried to do is get people to write things down and chart things, and for the simple purpose of like you start tracking your life and seeing things, and you start seeing your habits with your time wasters every day. And it's like if these are childlike things, you need to get rid of them and start doing adult-like things. And when you start looking at your schedule, you start realizing that, damn, I was doing a lot of like childish stuff.
Yeah.
And I know me and you both know men who are in their 50s, some of them in their 60s, and still are like children. I mean, you could be a child at heart, but when you're acting like a child and like lusting like a child and doing these things like a child, it's like, wow, man, you never got past that. Whatever happened to you in high school or college, you never dealt with that trauma. You never let that trauma go. You carry that forever. And you're still carrying that. Yeah. And that's why you're stuck. It's not a physical thing. No. It's an emotional or psychological thing that you need to get over that you never did. And now here's a compensation for it. Yeah. And everything in your life becomes a compensation for something that you never dealt with.
Exactly.
Wow.
And the crazy part is that it usually happens when it's way too late, that realization, usually like in your 40s. So like in Chinese culture, or not culture, just Chinese, ancient Chinese philosophy, the 1, which is 0 to 10 or to 20, is the inhalation. From 20 to 30 is the exhalation. When you hit 30s, it's more like, holy shit, holy crap.
An awakening.
What do I do?
Right.
At 40, the 4 stands for, that's when you start to actually realize that what you've been doing your whole life is not what you've been wanting to do. And you actually come to that realization. So that's why you see a lot of people in their 40s, 45, 44, 43, who never actually hit that 30 mark and really figured things out the way they should have. And then 40 comes and they're like, crap, I actually... And I'm not married to the person I want to marry, or you are happily married, but you're not at the job you want to do. Right. And you're like, crap, I wasted all this time worrying about this and worrying about that, and I should have been doing this. Where did the time go? And so, it's good to have that realization earlier.
Yeah,
so you can deal with some of the stuff. And but back in the day, when I say back in the day, Native American tribes used to have their children go out to the woods for like 2 days.
Right.
And kind of like 300.
300. Yeah, exactly.
Where you go, and then I mean, there's a bunch of camps nowadays actually that you can find that do rite of passages for boys. It's like a Boy Scout type of organization, and then the boys go out with these camp leaders, and you learn how to survive. You learn how to create a fire, and then you have a big test where they put you in the woods for like 3 hours, and you got to find your way back.
That's crazy. Well, that's a lot right there. Thank you, Izzy, for sharing that information. That's our Flo-Osophy for today. It's heavy, I know. We weren't going to share it at first, but it's one of those things where, man, listen, that's our truth. That's what we believe. Yeah. And I think it's relevant, especially nowadays. So we're sharing with the masses. See you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.